Should you ask for separate checks at a restaurant? Imagine sitting down with friends or colleagues and wondering whether to ask for separate checks. It might seem simple, but it can actually be a bit tricky depending on where you are and who you're with. In many Western countries like the United States, asking for separate checks is quite common and accepted. It's often called going Dutch, meaning each person pays for their own meal or shares the bill equally. Restaurants usually have point-of-sale systems that make splitting bills easy, but it's polite to tell the server ahead of time so they can prepare. In other parts of the world, asking for separate checks can be seen as unusual or even rude. For example, in Greece, splitting the bill is rare because dining is seen as a shared social event. The host often pays for everyone, and payment systems might not support splitting easily. In many Asian countries like South Korea, China, and Japan, it's common for one person, usually the host or the eldest, to pay for the group. Refusing an offer to pay can be considered disrespectful, especially if there's a hierarchy involved. European countries also vary. In Spain and Italy, it's typical for one person to pay the entire bill, with the understanding that others will return the favor later. But in Germany and the Netherlands, paying separately or splitting the bill is more normal and expected. When deciding whether to ask for separate checks, think about the group size and the setting. Larger groups or mixed social groups often find it easier to split the bill to avoid awkwardness. Also, check if the restaurant can handle separate checks, especially smaller or traditional places that might prefer one bill for everyone. If you're dining abroad or with people from different backgrounds, it's respectful to understand local customs. Asking about how to handle the bill beforehand can prevent misunderstandings. In summary, asking for separate checks is usually fine in cultures that value individual payment and fairness. But in places where sharing the bill is part of social bonding, it might be less common or seen as impolite. When in doubt, observing what others do or politely asking the server can help keep things smooth and friendly.